Hello and welcome back to Podcast Demastered. I am Wade. I'm here with Chelsea this evening. Ethan could not be here with us tonight. He got a little preoccupied, so we'll see him again here soon. Maybe by the end of the episode. Maybe he'll pop back in. We'll see. But Chelsea and I, we've been looking forward to catching up with you all and each other. These last few months, I guess we've had quite a string of themed episodes lately. We had our big October spooky Halloween stuff. Fresh came out of our Harry Potter month. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. I know we did. But I know Harry Potter's not everybody's cup of tea. So if you're back after taking a break, welcome back. We're good to have you. Otherwise, this evening, Chelsea and I are just going to be catching up on what we've been up to lately as far as games and movies, and who knows what's going to come up. We'll just have to see. So we'll see what happens. So if you're glued in and you're listening and life is great, don't forget to check us out on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And hopefully we always have something good to talk about with you all. So, Chelsea, how have you been lately?
Say good, busy. Definitely watched.
It's that time of year for sure.
Oh yes, definitely. But it's also that time of year where definitely the weather is getting a lot colder. You just want to stay in, watch some movies, play some games.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been watching some movies lately. Some of them have been quite interesting. Oh, very interesting. I'll tell you one of them that I watched this past week. It was called Anna and the Apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it or anything.
I haven't. Tell me about it.
Okay, so Anna and the Apocalypse, it came out a couple of years ago. I think it was 2018 it came out. So I remember seeing this. I think I had a limited release in theaters, and it was a 1 week only or 1 day only at that time, and I was like, oh, that movie sounds really intriguing, I should check it out, but I never got a chance. But then I was able to watch it this week, and so it's a Christmas zombie musical. Just let that sink in. Yep, let that sink in. Christmas zombie
musical?
Yes.
What?
Oh, it was amazing. It's also a British film, so it makes it even better.
That does actually make a little bit more sense.
Yep.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I think, technically, maybe it's not quite British. It's at least, the UK. I think it was filmed partially in, Scotland and stuff. But, so it's a Christmas zombie musical. It's basically about, I believe they're supposed to be high schoolers, and about the main characters, Anna, and it's a musical, but one thing that was weird about this musical, it did not have an opening number.
Really?
Yeah.
So did, when they started singing eventually, was it whoa, what?
Well, a little bit, because I knew I'm like, okay, but why is there no song at the beginning? And I was like, okay, but it was, probably within 5 minutes of the movie, starting, it started up with the music. But I actually read that there was supposed to be an opening number for this film, but I think when they were shooting, the weather got really bad and they weren't able to finish their opening song, so they ended up scrapping it.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. But so honestly, the music for this was kind of pretty good. It was kind of catchy. It wasn't, I wouldn't say super, super deep. I think it's kind of, the mix of your typical kind of fun zombie movies in some ways with, I don't really want to say High School Musical-esque musical numbers, but slight vibe to that, but a little more angsty, I guess. I don't know.
Yikes.
But, some of the songs weren't bad. And, the story itself, so I'm like, okay, Christmas zombie musical, this sounds like a fun movie. So, for most of the movie, it was kind of, slightly lighthearted, a little, over-the-top, cheesy, fun. And then it just gets plain dark. We're just going hardcore apocalypse. Just everybody's dying. Nobody has a chance. Well, and it's funny, and I was like, why are they doing this? And one of the songs they sing is called Hollywood Ending, which is something like how the lyrics are there's no such thing as a Hollywood ending. And I'm like, yeah, you guys went there. This was not really that happy of an ending.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was.
Is it on like a streaming service?
So yeah, kind of a streaming service. I watched it on Hoopla, which is another at the library. Mm-hmm. It's the service that I have through my library card and everything. So I was able to download that and watch it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If I see it, I'm a little intrigued now. If I ever see it, I'm going to have to make sure I watch it.
Yes, you'll definitely have to look out for it.
Wow.
So that's been my special little, interesting movie I've watched recently. Have you watched anything quite as interesting?
I'm trying to think. What have I been watching? We started watching Hawkeye.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so we're getting there. We haven't watched the third episode yet, just the first two. Have you watched that yet?
No, I haven't. It is on my list of things to watch, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's pretty good. The first two episodes are nice. It's Hawkeye, so it's going to be more like grounded and less like over the top. It's really nice, I think. Let's see what else. Arcane. The League of Legends show on Netflix.
Yes, I've heard lots of things about that. Lots of positive things.
Yeah, I don't know a damn thing about League of Legends. It was not something that interested me one way or the other. But I do like a good story, and I heard it was really good, although it doesn't I don't think it's supposed to reflect the game really. Mm-hmm. It's hey, here's the characters, and hey, here's common elements and stuff like that, but we're putting them together for you to enjoy. And I did enjoy it. The animation is something it's so different, I think, than a lot of other things. The combat in it, the fight scenes, they're really cool. But we ended up watching the first season in 2 days, I think.
Oh dang. So it must have obviously really hooked you. Very cool.
Well, it's I think it's only 10 episodes long. Okay. It's not too long, but it is really good, and I'm kind of waiting now to see what's going to happen later, because the cliffhanger it leaves you on is kind of crazy. Oh. Immensely. Whoa. What if you don't get a season 2? What are you gonna do?
Oh, that would be a horrible tease, a horrible cliffhanger.
It really was. Well, I was okay, next episode. That's we got to be going into the season finale. Oh no, that was the season finale.
Oh, that's rough.
Yikes! It's like Daenerys shows up to King's Landing, and that's it. That's all you get. Or maybe she attacks all the she swoops down onto the castle or something. If Cersei's in it, that's it. And that's the end of the show. It's oh, okay.
Thanks. Yeah. But
yeah, great. Now I gotta wait, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think as far as watching things, I haven't seen any movies lately. I don't think I've seen a movie in theaters since Eternals, and I haven't watched any full movies. I don't think since. Man, I don't know. I don't get to watch full movies very often, unless I try to make an event out of it.
That's true. Well, it's good to have those TV shows, so you could have that little snippet of something to watch at a time when you have time.
Yeah, that I do appreciate them. Yeah, for that reason.
Well, that's movies and TV shows. I think you've been up to playing some games recently, right? Some games have come out recently.
I have, yeah. Yes. Some games have come out. Some we had Black Friday, and I swiped some things. I usually try to control myself during Black Friday, but I let myself have some time. I picked up some things on Black Friday. I got Guardians of the Galaxy on PS5. I haven't played a whole lot. I mean, I'm probably 4 or 5 hours in. But it is good. It is so good. I know there's a lot of people online saying how bad it was and how just oh, this is this and blah blah blah. But I've had a great time with it so far. It's absolutely beautiful. Wow, I think this might be my first full PS5 game. I think I'm trying to think of. I have games that have PS4 upgrades. Mm-hmm. you know, but I think this might be my first real PS5 game. I'm pretty sure. But I look forward to moving farther in on that. Like the chemistry between the cast is so good. It's different than the MCU. Mm-hmm. So like if you ever play it, don't think like, oh, like they're similar. Of course, some of them have similar backstories, but I'd say it's kind of more closer to the comic versions of the characters in a way.
Okay.
But there are still some changes. Like they're their own unique persona. So there's that.
That's cool.
Let's see what else. Today I ordered it forever ago, but just today I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This is my first Assassin's Creed game since the PS2 era.
Oh, wow.
PS3 era, when like the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I played the first two, and I haven't played any since. And I understand that they're quite different than what they used to be.
Yeah, it's okay. I've never played one, so.
Yeah, they're usually not games on my radar like at all, at all. They could come out and I would be like, oh, okay. But this one looked. I've been keeping my eye on it for a little bit, and then they have like the season passes and how they're gonna support this one for a while. I'm like, you know what, maybe. So it was $20 on PS5 again, and I was like, for $20 I can try that. Worst case, I don't buy the season passes, so
yeah.
I try to get through the main game, and we'll see how it goes from there. And I know you know about this one because yes. I was texting you all quite a bit. You all are like the people for this one, but I did get the remastered Mass Effect trilogy.
Woo!
Right? Yeah, and I've been having a wonderful time with that too. I'm only like two maybe 3 hours into that one. I really didn't get a chance to play it after school this week at all. And then this weekend was a little more preoccupied with something else, another game.
Tease there.
See, but I am enjoying it. I played the original Mass Effect like a million years ago when it first came out, but because of like the shooting elements, I was so bad at it. And I took things too seriously. I was like, I need to make sure that my gear has to be better. I have to make sure that so on and so forth. But this time around, I'm just like, oh look, this piece of equipment is better. I guess I'll pop it on there, and I just go about my way and shoot people. So
there you go. Well, I hope the controls are a little bit better for the shooting aspect. I think the first game was pretty clunky altogether.
I haven't had any issues with it so far. I haven't noticed anything, but I'm not a shooter person at all. It's more for me. It's probably more of a user error.
No. It's okay. I mean, there's, I think we all struggle with different games or sometimes, but no, the first game in general, I remember, I played it back on the PS3 and it was still kind of clunky compared to the second and third, but I know the remaster was supposed to help with some of those issues. So it's good if you can't tell any problems. So
so far so good. I'm just now getting ready to leave the capital place. Mm-hmm. So I haven't really started out on my journey so much into space. But what I've done so far, I'm having a good time with it.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. And I did cheat a little bit. I did look at guides just to show like, hey, make sure you do this mission before you do this mission. Mm-hmm. Because in case I only play each game one time through, I just want to make sure that I kind of point myself in the correct direction of not destroying the universe by the end of the third game. Like one of our cohorts apparently did.
Yes. It's not me, so I'll guess narrow it down.
If I mess it up, I want to make sure that it's not going to ruin my one experience with the game in case I never come back to play it again. Yeah. Although I'm playing as a Paragon, because that's just what I do.
Oh, right there with you.
I might play, if I play it again, I'd love to play it back through as a Renegade. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm also struggling with, I'm struggling with the relationship stuff. Trying to plan out in advance. Like, oh God, like, who am I gonna Who am I gonna
Oh.
romance here and then here? But that's like any game that I can do that in. Like that's the true game.
Oh, what's the struggle? You have to research everybody ahead of time, figure it out.
It's seriously like every single time I start a new game of Stardew Valley, I'm like, there's like, I don't know, what is it, like 5 bachelors and 5 bachelorettes, and I'm like, okay, like who's it gonna be this time? And I can never ever make up my mind. I can't. It's hard.
Well, I mean, you either have to make up your mind in Mass Effect, or I guess just go it solo the whole way.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not going to be Ashley because I've never really cared for Ashley. So.
No. Never liked her personality.
I also, having said that, I also think I know who I'm going to leave behind. So.
May have been the same person I left behind the first time around.
Well, I like Caden so much. I like Caden. Caden?
I don't know. I call him Caden. I don't know.
Caden, the boy. Yeah. I like him. Ashley, meh.
Yeah.
Somebody else likes her. I'm sure they can keep her.
Yeah.
But before I talk about my last game, how about you? What have you been playing these last couple months?
Oh. See, I've finished up a couple games. I did finish up Kena Bridge of Spirits about a month or so ago. So that one's pretty good.
Was it worth a play?
I think it's definitely worth a play. It definitely has its moments. It was more of just some kind of frustrating moments. There were parts where it was kind of hard to figure out what you were supposed to be doing, and it made me feel stupid in those moments, because I'm like, I get the concept of what I'm supposed to be doing, but not quite what exactly I'm supposed to, like, hit or move. But, I mean, the cutscenes are beautiful, the animation's great, it's an interesting story. I definitely think it picks up a lot more towards the end, and I like the ending. I wish I honestly had more characterization of the main character. It's almost not her story. Like, realistically, it's not. It's about other people in it, so that's an interesting aspect. There's some really cool imaginative things, and the storytelling's cool. So I definitely think it's worth the play. Yeah.
Do you think it's worth a sequel? To give them another shot at it?
I think it's worth a sequel. I definitely think there's some story left to be told. There's definitely some parts that they alluded to in the game that I'm like, I don't think we actually finished that storyline, so I'd like to see that in another game. But I understand too if they just want to move on to something else, some type of game, that's cool too, because it is a complete game. But it definitely could deserve a sequel.
Well, that's good to hear. I've wanted to play it. I think I've wanted to play it like ever since before it came out, and then August hit, and then I just couldn't buy it. I just wasn't in a position to buy it. So the first time it ever goes on sale, I'm sure I will snatch it up.
Yes.
I want to so bad. I'm sure I will.
Yeah, definitely worth it. You'll have to share what your thoughts are of it too when you get your hands on that.
Oh, I will. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that game is pretty lengthy from what I recall. I feel like it was probably around 10-15 hours, roughly, maybe a little bit more than 15 hours, I recall. So it's a nice sized game. But I mean, it's not very accurate on the length because I wasn't really keeping track and I was playing a little bit at a time. But definitely a pretty good sized game. I did play another game recently. This one's pretty funky. Yeah. It's this is a real indie game. It's called Cosmic Top Secret.
I like the title.
Which is actually interesting about the title, because did you actually know that Cosmic Top Secret is actually a legit level of like secret levels? There's like Top Secret. Well, Cosmic Top Secret is a level above that. It's actually a NATO term for the highest level of classification. So that's really interesting. So this game I got on sale for Black Friday. It was $1.99. It had actually been on my radar early this year when I saw a trailer for it that I saw on Twitter that the game was coming out on the PS4. This game was actually originally released in 2018, but it was coming to consoles earlier this year, and it was super on sale, so I couldn't pass it up. So it's very unique. It's basically an autobiographical adventure game, and it's kind of like a really rough style of animation. It's like a cutout puppets, almost,
Okay.
with like papers and everything. And so the whole story is basically about this woman who just like, I don't even know how she comes across it, but then she realizes her parents were involved in like really top secret stuff in the Danish intelligence during the Cold War. And so this whole video game and stuff is basically her trying to uncover what her parents did during the Cold War and what the top secret stuff was. And so this really could be an actual documentary. There's actually video recordings throughout the game itself of her interviewing her parents or interviewing other people actually in the Danish intelligence and other people involved in certain projects. So it's really a unique gaming experience in that it's such a personal story and such a personal and top secret story that they were able to let the rest of the world see this. I wouldn't say it's a fun game. The controls are pretty clunky and stuff. You kind of like, since you're like a paper cutout character, the way you move around is you like crumple up into a ball and roll around different areas. But the stories,
Interesting.
yeah. But then it's like a little clunky. You have to do it just right because you might like fall off the edge or something or get stuck in a corner. But I really appreciate the uniqueness of the game, the interesting storytelling aspects. That's very interesting, personal documentary style. And some of the parts are cool since it talks about like her parents working in the intelligence agency and top secret stuff. So like the environment may look like rolling hills and stuff, but they actually might be documents that are kind of like formed on top of it to make it look like she's going across all the like blacked out or documents and different types of coding and everything. It's a unique story. That one probably was about 5 hours long, but interesting. I'm pretty sure the main character in that is actually the person that created it, like the game. I think she created the game by herself. She may have had a little bit of extra help, but it was like her huge project, and she was able to, I think, eventually got funding from the government, from the Danish government, to help produce her game and add that all for documentary footage into it. It's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. That is wild.
Yeah.
What a unique, like, just thing in general. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So that was a ride.
I bet. Yeah. Man, that's just, like, mind-blowing almost. Mm-hmm. That, like, not only, like this is a thing and it was top secret, and then like the government's like, no, it's fine, like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, let's just turn this into a video game. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It's worth just at least checking out a trailer or some, maybe just a little bit of a walkthrough of it so you can see that interesting style, but also those snippets of her recordings and everything.
If I ever see that game, I might have to snatch that up.
Yeah.
Like, just like a historical kind of thing. That's just too cool to pass up on.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I was really intrigued by that historical aspect.
Man.
Cosmic top secret. Yep.
Well, do you have any is there any other games that you've been trying to play lately?
Well, I haven't started anything new, but I'm planning on starting a new game probably this week. It's either going to be Concrete Genie or Infamous Second Son. So, I'm still undecided on that.
I think really either would be fine. Or you can go both. Both
That's
at
true.
the same time.
No, at the same time. Oh, I try to like to play a game at least one at a time. But I think maybe I'll play the shortest one first, because I think Concrete Genie is shorter, so maybe I'll start with that, and then I'll go to...
I'm awful with that. I At any point, I've got save files for like 10 different things going on. And I get so like, I don't get like caught up or run down or stressed out by like this stack of stuff that I have. It just takes, because of that, it just takes a long time for me to finish a game. Because, I mean, I'll get to, when I know I'm getting close to the end, like when that feeling happens, like that's it, like let's just do it, let's get it done with, and then I'm happy, I can put it away. But if you don't think that that won't be replaced by 3 more games, you know, it's I'm ridiculous, it's just what I do, you know, it who I be.
Hey, it works for you, so go for it.
Yeah. And do you have anything that you're looking forward to, like that's not out yet?
Well, I always sound like a broken record talking about when the heck are we going to get more about Hogwarts Legacy?
Somebody's got to ask the questions, because I'm sure somebody at WB's listening.
Yeah. I mean...
You never know. Yeah. We got to get the word out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Game Awards are coming up this coming week. Hopefully they show us something.
Man, there's a chance that so much might be shown at the Game Awards. Like, there are so many big titles that are, like, out there in the nether somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying not to get my hopes up about any of them. I know, what's-his-face, Jeffrey...
Yeah.
He's already made mention of like one world premiere, one that's like a bajillion years in the making apparently, or something like that. I don't know.
That could be anything.
It really, really could. So who knows? I don't know. I mean, what's that? That's Thursday night, right?
Yes, I believe that's right.
We'll just have to find out.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I'll watch it. I look forward to it. I don't watch it for the awards. I like the trailers.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best part.
Right. I mean, like, you can keep your awards. I really don't care about who paid for what game to get what award. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
But oh well.
Yep. Well, hopefully we'll be able to share some exciting news, or hopefully some of our, deepest desires of game announcements will be announced then.
And that's on tap for next week for us, right?
Yes, that is.
Doing a Game Awards retroflection.
That is correct. So,
yeah.
Everybody be ready.
I hopefully we have lots to talk about, and hopefully maybe it has potential of me just screaming in the background for a half hour. I don't know. There's some things that they could talk about that I'll just, like, you all will have to just put me on mute as I'm like crying and sobbing or something. I don't know.
No, that'll just add to the podcast episode. Definitely. I hope we have those moments where we can be super excited about the trailers, announcements, sneak peeks.
I hope
something.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could just, this whole week could just skip to Thursday, that would be fine with me.
Yes.
We've got 2 weeks of school left, and I am
the countdown.
Counting down the hours.
Oh man.
Hours. I got my last game that I've been playing this weekend is Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, finally, after all these 2 years. But like while we're recording, I'm sitting here I'm just trying to log into the game. I'm currently at 2,321 in line, so probably not going to be getting back into the game this evening, more than likely. Probably means I'm not going to be getting on it tomorrow night either. I don't know.
Can at least hope. Hope for something.
I can hope. Mm-hmm. I got to play a lot yesterday. I got to play a good bit this morning. But, it's an MMO, so it's like if you're not playing, you're losing out. So, and I feel like I've hardly scratched the story. Like that's the it. Like this story is the end of like a 10-year story. Mm-hmm. And I'm pumped and excited about it to see like what's gonna happen with my lovely characters in it. But we'll have to see eventually when I'm not 3,000 people deep in the line. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I mean, it was an expected bummer with Blizzard blowing up and WoW kind of degrading under everybody's feet. And this summer, so many thousands and thousands of people abandoned WoW and jumped into 14, which was a very positive thing. I feel the 14 community, we've been very accepting and helpful to the people coming to WoW. And I know I've heard from a lot of WoW players that like 14 and WoW, like the differences are almost night and day as far as like the community goes. Because with 14, like you're in a duty that you've never done before. More than likely, you're going to have 3 people in there with you that are like, okay, like this is how we do this. So let's go do this part. And, like they hold your hand through it until you learn it and then you're good. Mm-hmm. But in WoW, I know like, like you die one time, like if the party wipes, has to restart, like they'll kick you out. Yeah. They're just like, bye. Like harsh words are said and you're gone. Among other things, yes. But with all those people that came over to 14, that did present the issue of server capacities
I can
and stuff like that. I know, like every like 10 hours or something since the game launched Friday morning at like 3 a.m. or something like that, the amount of Steam players, Steam only, so not just PC, but like just the Steam side of PC, because you can play 14 without going through Steam. The amount of people playing 14 at one time, like that high point keeps jumping up. Like, and like a historical high point. It just keeps going up every 10 hours or so. And that's not to say who else is playing on PC, just having it downloaded straight to the PC client. That's not saying who's playing on PS4 and PS5. And that's mostly just America too. I'm not sure how popular Steam is in Europe.
I don't know.
But that's certainly not how Japan is playing. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but I would like to play the game. That'd be great. I'm just a poor teacher who wants to play his internet games.
We'll have some fun, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, in the meantime, I guess I can go maybe jump on Mass Effect. I don't know. We'll see.
Do it.
I probably should. I should probably use this time of not being able to play one game to play another game.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we'll see. 2,246. Slowly but surely.
Yep.
A snail's pace is still progress. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, Chelsea, is there anything else you want to add for tonight's little catch-up?
I don't think so. I think we've covered some fun little interesting things we've been up to. There's, definitely plenty more we have in store. Clearly, both of us have plenty of games to look forward to finishing and starting.
For real. Yeah, and then with Christmas coming up, who knows what's going to happen there either. So.
That is true.
So we'll have to make sure that we check in with Ethan, because I know he's had a lot of stuff. He's had a lot of games and movies and everything else too. So we'll have to make sure he gets his time to shine.
Yes.
All right. Well, we hope that you enjoyed our little catch-up session today. So if you enjoyed us, make sure that you're following us on all the social medias, following us wherever it is that you download your podcast, and we will check you out later.
Bye.